Hey guys, I'll have a beer with you, do something different today. And yes, you can be a Christian and drink beer. Spare me the legalism. Jesus drank wine and it was fermented. The Bible doesn't say not to drink. It says not to drink and have a problem with drinking or have a problem with anything else. That includes any crutches, drugs, sex, whatever. But that's not what this is about. I've been meaning to do this video, and I kind of sidelined myself yesterday. Your boy did something kind of stupid. I was out in the shop helping Gene load up the last of his stuff. He's kind of been storing it here, and it was an old rickety, that's a new subscriber. All right, Christopher, welcome. Hey, anyways, there was an old rickety, what was it, picnic table. These old duffers were struggling with it, so I just grabbed them, was going to put it in the back of their truck. Well, as I grabbed it, a board fell off of it, flopped down on the ground, had a bunch of nails in it, and guess who stepped right on it, wearing his Hey Dudes. If you got Hey Dudes, you know they ain't much more than, they're comfortable, but they're not much more than a bedroom slipper. So right through my foot went a nail. I mean, it went all the way through the top. It was pretty bad. That didn't bother me too much. But then my loving wife came over and started saying, well, now you're going to have to get a tetanus shot, this and that. And your boy has a phobia of needles. I don't know the exact terminology, but we started bickering about, I ain't getting no tetanus shot, blah, 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 blah. And then I started thinking about getting a shot in this. I don't want to talk too much about it. I might black out right here on camera. Next thing you know, boom, I'm out. And they're all trying to pick me up off the shop floor, keep me from hitting it. Anyways, so my foot is a little sore, so kind of chilling, doing some things. I'm taking this week off anyways. I was going to go to my kid's open house. He's going into 8th grade, but it ain't one teacher. It's like walk around the whole school, and I'm like, hello, hole in the foot. No, can't do that. Sorry, love you, but we ain't doing that. So me and baby girl are staying home. She is playing her little Nintendo Pokemon games on her Switch or whatever it is. And I thought, you know what, I'd make a video because I thought I would just take a break from our normal and do a little heart-to-heart with you guys because I get a lot of questions on this. And I've done some little videos on it in the past, and I've talked about it during other videos, but I thought I would make just a video for this. First, I thought I'd make 2 or 3. And I thought, nah, man, I mean, it's not like if someone will sit there and follow a series. So I said, no, I'll make 1, and it might end up being a little longer than 10 or 15 minutes. So if you're really interested in this, you'll watch. If you're not, then you won't. So now right out the bat, I'll say I'm not the foremost expert on anything. However, I have been in this business for just about 35 years, and I've done a lot. I've been company driver, owner, operator, went out of business, went back company driver, was a union driver for a long time. Now I'm an owner operator again. So what I share with you is experience, not opinion. A lot of the YouTubers out there, and I like a lot of them, I'd have a beer with many of them, but they just, except for a handful, most of them, they just don't have a lot of experience. Not saying all their advice is bad, but a lot of their advice is not based on decades of trial and error, like yours truly. So I don't know what I'm going to title it, but it's who should be an owner operator and who shouldn't, and when should they and how should they. I mean, I can't cover everything in detail. I have some videos from way back when I first started doing this, you know, step by step, get your LLC, INC, business, banking, credit, this and that, and you can go back and watch those. We're not going to go into all of that, but I have some notes here, so we'll just start off with, see my notes? Okay. We'll just go through these orderly. Right now I have not now, so that means who should jump into being an owner-operator right now? Nobody. And I've been saying that for a year. Unless you get a killer deal on a truck, then okay. But for the most part, if you don't have your equipment, you're going to get robbed. The prices are slowly coming down, but I looked today, and I mean, even Lone Mountain, and they got pretty good rates for their little program there. They want 230 grand for a T680. And truck paper is still the same. The lots are pretty flooded, and stick with me, guys, they're going to come down. So right now, I would say not now. And though I don't advocate normally to go into a lease purchase, I would say go do it right now. They give you enough of a look into the business to make sure that's what you want to do. And there's if you get into a good one, there's some safety nets. Right now, to go out and buy a $200,000 truck, you're probably going to go out of business. That is not how you start a business. Okay, that's a new owner-operator. That is a big mistake. And we've been saying that for well over a year, and guys are folding up because they did it because they knew better, and they're not making it. Are there owner-operators out there that could go out and spin that? Yeah, I mean, I could probably go out since I'm already established and have a lot of experience and know my lanes and know where and how to make money. I could go buy a $200,000 truck and keep my head above water. Could someone brand new into becoming an owner-operator? The odds are against you, and I would not do it. So I've been saying it. I just say wait. Wait. You go do a lease purchase if you want, but running down and financing a $200,000 truck, it doesn't have to be new because the used ones are $150,000. I mean, that's what a new one used to be. That's what they want a used one for. So either way you go, it's just a bad idea to jump in this game right now. So been saying that, nothing's changed on that. But let's take that aside and pretend it's a normal world, if there is going to ever be such a thing again. And who do I think should become an owner-operator? And why would you want to become an owner-operator? Well, first of all, I don't think anybody should be in trucking unless they love trucking. Now, that's just my opinion. If you get into this for money, you're making a mistake. There's not that much money in it, sure. There's going to be a certain percentage that finds I wouldn't call it gravy, the great heavy haul contract is going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, or they're going to start a small fleet, or they're going to, you're going to have that 1% of 1% of 1% that goes on to become a mega carrier down the road. But for most of us, it's a working man's thing. You're not going to make too much more money than the kid you went to school with that's a plumbing contractor. You're just not gonna, guys. And honestly, you're gonna work more hours. So I've always said, someday I'll drag it out, but in my baby book, my first words were, according to my mom, was big truck wow. I don't know why or how I got this in my blood, but there's just something about trucks I've always been drawn to, and that's what I wanted to do. Now, I'm not saying you got to be all that, but if you don't get excited about cool trucks and this and that, or at least being a gypsy and being out on the road, and I guess that's another thing. If you're getting into it just for money, stay local, get a local job, or I guess you could become an owner-operator. I'm talking about a local owner-operator. It's there's not a lot of that going on, but there is some. You could have some rock trucks or something, but as far as being gone for a week at a time or more like I am, or who these videos are made for, you really got to love this game or you're going to hate it. I'm just being honest with you. Make sure there's something about trucks you like. It's in your blood to a certain level, and you're not just doing it for the money. So once you get past that, I really think you need to be a company driver for 4 or 5 years before you even consider being an owner-operator. Yes, guys have done it with less experience than that. It can be done. I just don't think it's a good idea. You're trying to take on too much at once, starting this out of the gate. So get comfortable having your feet in the pool before you go into the deep end of being an owner-operator, because most of what I do anymore I don't really think about the driving or securing a freight. That's just second nature. I don't have to think about that. That's my relaxed time, to be honest with you. Going down the road is vacation time for yours truly, all right? So if you're still nervous about the truck and, oh, that's so big, and can I make that corner and all, plus you're trying to run a business, man, you're going to overload your computer up here, and it's just too much in my opinion. It really is. Maybe you don't have that opinion. I'm just giving you mine, but get comfortable with the truck and what you're doing. Get knowledgeable in the freight you're going to be. Dry van, reefer, I do flatbed. I don't have to worry about, oh, I got a load of this. How do I do it? I don't have to get on and research how to secure this and all this, plus try to get all my numbers to the bookkeeper and this. You're going to burn yourself out, man. It's a bad idea. So get comfortable being able to operate the truck and comfortable in your day-to-day before you take on the business end, because it's really two different worlds. It really is. And they're both equally demanding. So, and freedom. I got freedom down here. The main reason to become an owner-operator, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, is freedom. If it's just, the money, you can make 60 to 75 grand a year driving for a good carrier, and you don't have all these headaches. But you probably will be told what to do and dispatch, and you'll have a safety department to deal with and all that. That stuff, I hate all that. That's why I do what I do. And I'm going to turn this fan on, so hold on a minute. I'll be right back. All right, get a little airflow in here. So, where was I? That's why I do it. I do it for the freedom. We have it here to a certain extent, but for the most part, I am my own boss. I work when I want to work. I don't answer to nobody, and that's why I do it. Do I make more money? Yes, I do make more money at the end of the year, but that's not the main reason that I went back to being an owner-operator and continue to do it. That's just not why I do it personally, okay? Because I could make more than I need just driving for somebody. I just don't want to answer to people. I couldn't take the college kid or, be it a dude or a lady who's never driven a truck telling me how to do it. I just can't stomach that anymore. And I just don't like it. So I don't like to answer to those type of people. So it's freedom. And yeah, I make more money, but I was going to say I work a lot more. Okay. When you become an owner operator, don't be under this false illusion that you're going to work less. You lost your stinking mind. I do all the stuff a company driver does. Then I got paperwork and tax and maintenance on my truck. I'm working on that all the time. It's way more of a commitment. So do I make twice as much? Okay, let's say I do. I guarantee you I work twice as much as any company driver out there. I guarantee it, because they go home. They drop the truck off. The shop takes care of the maintenance. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to schedule nothing. You don't have to take it nowhere. You don't have paperwork. You don't have books to keep for taxes and IFTA and all these things. It is a lot. You're putting a lot more on your plate. So rightfully so, you should make more. Hour for hour, I probably make what a company guy does. I'm just working a lot more and running a business. So the only reason I would recommend being an owner operator is freedom. That's really what it comes down to me. Being your own boss and just getting away from, someone going to put a camera in my truck to watch me. No, nobody can do that except me. So it's just the freedom from the nonsense. And a lot of these carriers don't realize, and they'll never realize, they're just too arrogant. They don't understand. I had to do a video on this. And I will someday about, you see all these bonuses that they're trying to lure drivers in, and they didn't used to do that. They used to say they didn't have any more money to give you, but that was a lie. But they can't figure out why they can't get drivers. I know personally probably 100 dudes that just got out of trucking. They're still working. They would go back to it, but they don't want to put up with the bull crap and the cameras and the lane sensors and the truck telling on them and the computer, and then a lot of them don't like e-logs. They just ran them out. They flat ran them out. So they'll never get it. They ruin trucking for people who really love trucking, but that's another story. Next, I have money. You cannot become an owner-operator without operating capital. You will be out of business quickly. Now, I have talked about this in quite a bit, so I'm not going to go too far into this, but I don't know what the set amount is, but I would say after you secure your truck, that includes your down payment and whatever, and get going, you really need $20,000 cash in the bank to operate on for breakdowns, I mean, if you guys follow my videos, some months, July, I made nothing, barely, like $1,000 or something crazy. The next month I made net 15,000. But if I didn't have money in the bank to carry me through those times, you're done. You're just done. Especially if you have a truck payment. I don't, but if you do, the bank don't give a crap if you had a bad month. They want their payment. So you could probably get away with $10,000 and a $10,000 credit card, although I'd stay away from credit cards because they'll get you in trouble. I use one, but I pay it off every month because it's super easy to say, oh, I'll pay that later, and then you never do, and then you're $20,000, $30,000 in debt on your credit card, and that's hard to get rid of. $2,000 to $3,000, and you pay it off every month or whatever it is. It's not so bad if you're responsible. So you have to have some money to start, and you have to be responsible with your money. I'm not going to name names, but a guy found me on Facebook and became my friend, and he just jumped into owner-operator stuff, barely had enough money to get over. He's been in it about 3 months. He's in Hawaii now on looks like about a $10,000 vacation. I know how he's doing that. He made a killing 1 month, and he's blowing it all. And he ain't setting it aside, and it's going to come back to bite him. That's how owner-operators go out of business. They think they're rich all of a sudden, and they have no clue of what's coming, of a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 breakdown. And they just go out and go on a lavish trip, or they buy a new Hellcat or something, and they just think, man, look at me. Yeah. I can't even tell you how many of those guys I've seen go out of business. So you need to have some money to start, and you need to be smart and frugal with your money and keep it in the bank, or you're just not going to make it. And then the last topic I wrote, fear is a liar. That's a Zach Williams song. But let's say you have all the above put into place, okay? You took my advice. You got a few years. You really love trucking, you want the freedom, and you have some capital to start with, but you have a good job, and you don't know if you should give it up. Then the answer is no, you shouldn't be an owner-operator, because here's the truth. You are going to have to gamble, okay? For more reasons than becoming an owner-operator. If some of you know my story, I checked out of UPS many, many years early. I had 20 plus years in there, and I just wasn't happy. But I was at the top of the seniority board where everybody wants to be. That was me, and I just said, hey, I'm done. Most people would never do that. So I risked all that because I believed in myself, and I knew I could make it just because I know enough about trucking. The point is, you're going to have to take the gamble. So now guys ask me, if I do this, will I make it? I don't know. Sounds good, but saying it and doing it is two different things. So you're going to have to sit down with your family, pray about it, and just flat decide, do I want to take this risk? And know that you can lose everything. I could have lost everything and been broke and back to work and just getting by check to check. And I believed in myself, and my wife believed in me enough that we did it. We put a lot of money out to start my business back up last year, and I never did total it up. I should do a video on that, but I took at least $65,000 of my own money to start my business. Plus I kept another 45 or 50 in reserves. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess if I'd have went under, I'd have still had some money in the bank, but I would have lost a lot of money. So you have to gamble something, and you have to be willing to fail. You may fail. You might have to fail and then get up again and go again. But there is no... I cannot give you guys the answer of, do you think I'll make it if? I don't know. I guess I could say yes, but then you might be mad at me. And then if I say no, you think I'm being negative and a jerk. But the bottom line is, nobody knows. If you follow some good advice like I'm giving you and some other guys out there, you should make it as long as your work ethic is strong. But even then, there's no guarantees. I mean, you could just get a truck that breaks. I mean, Ellie's giving me fits right now. I'm dumping money in her right and left. But it could be a lot worse. The engine hasn't blown or something. You could blow a motor and there's 25, 30, 40 grand, depending on where you go, and you're just done. I mean, it may or may not even, it might not even be your fault, but there is a risk you're going to have to take. And if you're not willing to take it, if you're afraid of it, then don't do it. But the reason I said fear is a liar, because that song's pretty cool for one thing, but fear will tell you you can't make it. And your friends are going to tell you you're not going to make it and you're dumb. I wouldn't do that. You got it made. Stay where you're at. Your own family might say you're not going to make it. You know, you shouldn't do that. But at some point, you're going to have to say, well, I believe I can and I'm going to do it. And if I fail, I fail. Funny thing is once you do make it, they'll say, oh, man, you did so good, this and that. They'll forget they told you not to do it. It's a funny thing, you know. So, but fear can also be your friend too. So I was going to do a little spiel on that for the flatbed stuff. If you're afraid stuff is going to fall off that trailer, you'll secure it better. So fear can be your friend too. But most of the time, fear of the unknown and just fear in general, it's a liar. It'll talk you into quitting before you even start. So you're going to have to step past that hurdle. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I covered what I think I wanted to cover, hopefully. And I got some other videos. I'm doing some work on the truck, cleaning up the front frame. You guys haven't seen that yet, but we're working on it. I just thought I would have a blue moon with you and have a heart-to-heart and try to cover a lot of these questions I get on a regular basis the best I can. So take what I said and think about it, or think, he don't know what he's talking about, which, hey, I don't know why you guys are watching anyways. But anyways, that's all I could tell you. That's all I know. I mean, what I told you comes from the heart. Either use it or lose it. Forget about it. Whatever. All right, y'all. God bless you. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.